Welcome, dear students. Now I am going to discuss about the measurement of heterosis. Measurement of heterosis. You see, here I would like to discuss little about my work, which I did on hybrid rice. You see, I started my career as assistant professor cum scientist at Birsa Agriculture University in the year 1990. And for about more than 16 years, you can say touching 17 years, I served Birsa Agriculture University as assistant professor, as associate professor. Then in the meantime, for 1 year, I had gone to Africa in Higher Institute of Agriculture and Livestock, Kigali, the capital city, in the capital city, Rwanda. For 1 year I had been there along with my whole family to teach plant improvement. In Birsa Agriculture University, when I was working, I had been posted in All India Coordinated Research Project, of course in rapeseed mustard. I started from zero in rapeseed mustard, and you know that for developing a variety, for releasing a variety, it takes around 12 to 15 years. So started in 90, and I had notified my variety Shivani mustard, that was first mustard of Birsa Agriculture University, notified by Government of India in 2005. Still, after lapse of more than 15 years, it is very popular among the farmers in Jharkhand. And I tell you, whatever ICR projects in those days were coming in bad shape in Birsa Agriculture University, the administration was always willing that that project should be given in leadership of Professor S.K. Singh, Dr. S.K. Singh. So of course, whether you talk about All India Coordinated Research Project on rice, All India Coordinated Project on National Seed Project, All India Coordinated Project on linseed. So I changed the face of all the projects where I took the leadership. So there also, you see, when I was a group leader of ECRIP rice, I was made in charge of ECRIP rice, All India Coordinated Research Improvement Project rice. So in that project also, 2 rice varieties were released. Of course, because of the earlier workers who worked on that, and later on I took over the charge. So the 2 varieties were released. As a co-breeder, I did Birsa Vikasdhan 109 and Birsa Vikasdhan 110. Then as the Birsa Agriculture University made me the overall coordinator of oilseed projects later on. So during that period, in 2005 itself, Birsa Niger 2, I was co-breeder of Birsa Niger 2 also. So altogether 4 varieties I developed in 2005, working from 1990 to 2005, and the next variety, Birsa Shivam mustard, was going to be released in 2006. But fortunately or unfortunately, whatever you can say, I got the chance of teaching in Banaras Hindu University, one of the biggest university in Asia, you can say. Almost all the branch of science, humanities, technology, everything is available here. So I got the chance of as a professor of genetics and plant breeding in 2006. So I joined here in November 2006 as a professor of genetics plant breeding. But of course, I would like to say here, I'm always in keeping in my mind that teaching without research, particularly I don't have much confidence without having the research. So fortunately here also, apart from my own duty of teaching UG, PG, guiding MSc, PhD students here in Banaras University for the last, you can say 14-15 years as a professor. But I was knowing that without research I cannot do the justice with teaching. So since then I concentrated on rice particularly. I left all other crops. So I concentrated on rice, and in the meantime you know that the most complicated breeding program is hybrid rice, since it is self-pollinated crop. So fortunately in 2014 I started working with the help of my PhD, MSc students for working for their thesis research. Through that I generated a lot of materials, lot of CMS lines, lot of restored lines. So fortunately in the year 2014 I received a hybrid rice project, ad hoc hybrid rice project in my leadership, funded by UP Council of Agriculture Research, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. So I thought that it is a good time to work. Of course, before me, because I was here for teaching, of course here All India coordinated projects are running for majority of the major crops, and group leader and breeders are different people. So they were working for the last 35 years. But people were working on hybrid rice, but nobody could develop a practicable hybrids. So of course, with the help of that project, of course I started in 2006-07. When I got the project, I got the assistance, of course, because this is very complicated. Hybrid rice technology is very complicated here, I would like to tell you. So in majority of the centers, wherever hybrid rice program of All India coordinated project rice project is going on, they are having separate hybrid rice breeder. Those breeders are devoted for hybrid rice only. They are not doing anything for rice other than hybrid. And I tell you here, I am neither rice breeder, I am not the hybrid rice breeder, I am professor here. Because of my interest I am working. That without research I cannot teach my students with confidence. So this is a little story that with the help of UP Council of Agriculture Research, I got assistance, funding, and whatever material I had developed that could be utilized, and in that way I got altogether 5-6 hybrids very promising. The first hybrid, where the topmost hybrid I could not produce the seed, I tried 2-3 hybrids to keep the seed for All India coordinated testing. But I tried 2-3 hybrids I could get, because you see lot of persistence it needs lot of area it needs for maintenance of parental lines, MS lines, A line, B line, R line, and then for production in isolation. It is problematic, which we don't have that much area here in Banaras Hindu University for agricultural research. So I tried the top hybrid. I could not get the quantity of seed which is required. Around 10 kg seed is required. So fortunately the second highest hybrid, 5-6 I said, the promising I got. And here I would like to say that because it was the project to develop the hybrid rice for drought tolerance, so I tested all my whatever 20-25 promising hybrids I got. All the hybrids were tested for root characteristics also. And what happened, you see, in the year, in which year there was drought, severe drought. Fortunately, in that year, whatever hybrids I tell you, because of the drought situation, whatever hybrids were there, in comparison to the parents as well as the normal inbred varieties, the Czech varieties, the root length was just double, you can say, in almost all my hybrids. You see, and in the next year where there was not drought, so root length of all the hybrids, parents, and you see the Czech varieties, the inbred varieties were almost similar root growth. So this is genetics, you see. I will be telling you the manifestation of heterosis later on, in which you will be seeing that resistance to biotic and abiotic stresses is also the manifestation of heterosis. If you are getting the proper combination of genes in F1. So I said that many of my seniors worked on hybrid rice, but nobody could produce the hybrids, could develop the hybrids at such level to make them practical. So of course, fortunately, I did that, and in the history of Banaras Hindu University, my hybrid was the first hybrid which could be tested throughout the country in the name of Hindu University Rice Hybrid. Hindu, here you can see Hindu HURH, Hindu University Rice Hybrid S 17-1. In the year 17, I sent it for all year testing. So for testing, the mid-parent heterosis or average heterosis or heterobilitiosis has no meaning, no practical meaning. The standard heterosis is of practical meaning. So standard heterosis is checked for all the traits, and particularly first for the yielding ability, then the qualities. So my hybrid was tested throughout the country. I will be telling you the performance. It was very encouraging. As I said that in many of the centers, ICR is having, wherever hybrid rice breeding program is going on, apart from the rice breeder, hybrid rice breeder are also posted there solely for breeding hybrid. But I again I'm repeating that I'm here for teaching only. I'm professor, and with my interest I'm doing all these things. So I'll be explaining the result. Since I don't have time to devote much on hybrid rice, I don't have facilities. It needs money, material, expenditure, this inputs, and this land which is not available. So single man cannot do for rice, for hybrid rice, for quality rice, everything. Of course, I'm working on, here in Banaras Hindu University, I'm working on developing high zinc rice. That is a separate project going on, and I'm hopeful that within 1 or 2 years I'll be releasing. And I'm working on drought rice breeding also. And of course, my materials are have been all India testing have been completed. Now I have been asked to prepare the proposal. So this is the situation, that apart from my own duty of teaching, with my interest I'm working on this so that I can teach you well. So let us come to the point. Measurement of heterosis. As you know that Hayes et al. 1955 suggested the method of estimation of heterosis. The first, average heterosis, or you can say mid-parent heterosis, or you can say relative heterosis. For that, the formula is the percent. Relative heterosis percent is equal to F1 bar minus mid-parent bar divided by mid-parent bar into 100. It means the average performance of F1 hybrid, average performance of mid-parent, average performance of mid-parent. So if you see the mid-parental value, mid-parent average is equal to the value of parent 1, mean of parent 1, mean of parent 2 divided by 2, that is the mid-parent value. And say for example, if you see here the hybrid which I have developed, which was tested throughout the country in 2017 in All India Coordinated Program. It was HUR Hindu University Rice Hybrid S17-1, and you see the parental lines P1, this is CMS, A line. I cannot disclose it here. This is A line, this is P2, this is R line. I cannot disclose here. So you see the performance. If you say that how can you put the P1, the CMS line 40 quintals per hectare? Of course, in that place I have used its isogenic line B line, through which the maintenance, through which I am maintaining. So I have calculated the yield potential of B line, the normal line of P1 40 quintals per hectare, and P2, the restored line, this is the normal line, is 50 quintal per hectare. And I have got the yield performance of, you see, mid-early hybrid rice. It has been tested in mid-early hybrid rice group, 120 to 130, 35 days, maturing varieties and hybrids. In All India Coordinated Research Program, result 2017, mean of 6 centers of UP I am telling here. The All India tested in majority of the centers, but I am giving you the result of northern, you can say Uttar Pradesh center, and in that Uttar Pradesh 6 centers were there, and these are the results of the average result of 6 centers. Of course, in the annual report of 2017, only 3 or 4 centers data has been included. Of course, here I have included all 6 centers. So on that, you see HS 17-1, my hybrid has given 68 quintals per hectare. It is documented in the annual report of 2017. The parent, I said, parent P1 was 40, P2 was 50, and hybrid is giving 68 quintals. So you can see the 40, the 50, 40 quintal, 50 quintal, mid parental 40 divided by 2 is equal to MP is equal to 45. So F1 hybrid, you see HUR S17-1, the average performance of 6 centers, the mid parental value 68 minus 45 divided by 45, you see that 51.11% relative heterosis Of course, this is not going to do anything. This is the real heterosis, but you are not going to utilize it. You are unable to utilize it till you are not getting extended heterosis or economic heterosis or useful heterosis, which is being calculated here and which is meaningful, which has meaning. So of course this is not a heterosis. You are just comparing your hybrids, the heterotic hybrids, with the checks. That is standard heterosis. This is not going to do anything with the mechanism of heterosis. This is not going to do anything. But of course this mechanism is being used and compared with the check varieties, and that is why, so that it can be utilized in practical sense. So you see, this is one, the average heterosis or mid-parental heterosis or relative heterosis, how you are calculating it, means when F1 hybrid is compared with the mid-parental value, then this is average heterosis or mid-parent heterosis or relative heterosis. What is heterobeltiosis? When you are comparing your hybrid with the best parent. There are two parents. The best parent you are comparing, then you are, whatever heterosis you are getting, that heterosis is known as heterobeltiosis. So here you see the formula F1 minus better parent divided by better parent. Okay. So what is better parent? For yield, the highest yielding parent. Of two parents, the parent which is giving highest yield, higher yield between two parents. So that is the better parent. And if I ask for flowering, days to 50% flowering, which will be the better parent? The parent which is having low value. That will be known as better parent, because you always want that early maturing hybrids or varieties. So in that case, for calculating heterosis for days to 50% flowering, the lower value of the parent will be used as a better parent. Similarly for plant height also, we used to take that. The better parent, what will be the better parent? For plant height calculating the heterobeltiosis, the better parent will be the shorter plant will be used as a better parent. So there are many traits in which the better parent will be having the lower value, will be having the parent which is having lower value will be used as a better parent. But for yield and other traits and other qualities, you are going to use the highest value parent. So here you see better parent. What do you see here? There are two parents, A line and R line. The A line is giving 40 quintal, R line is giving 50 quintal, and the hybrid is giving 68 quintal. So for yield potential heterobeltiosis, you are going to use F1, this average F1 bar 68 quintals, and between these two parents you are going to use, because this is 40 quintal, this is 50 quintal. So this year you are going to use it. So divided by 50, you are going to get, this is 36% heterobeltiosis. This is having no meaning. Let it be 36, 50, 80, whatever. But for utilizing it, you cannot go directly for utilization. So of course you calculate it. Then if you talk about degree of the days to 50% flowering, you see the hybrid is giving the value 91 days, days to 50% flowering, 91 days. A best parent or better parent, whatever you can say, the better parent among these two, the A line and R line, this is the better parent for days to 50% flowering. So use this one. So you are going to get the heterobeltiosis for days to 50% flowering 7.06%. This is plus. So here the negative heterosis is usable. This positive heterosis will not work. This is not good. If it is positive heterosis is not good. Here should be negative heterosis. This should be minus 7.06. Then it will be accepted as this is better. So in such characters where you need the lower value. Say for example, I said that plant height, your this earliness, and many traits are there. So for that you are going to use that negative value of heterosis will be useful. So you are putting plus 7.06, not minus. Now you come to next standard heterosis or economic heterosis or useful heterosis. You can say this is the useful heterosis. You see, when the heterosis is compared with the check varieties and check hybrids, the case becomes standard heterosis or useful heterosis or economic heterosis. So the term useful heterosis was given by Meredith and Bridget in 1972. Now you come to here, you see standard heterosis. How you are calculating? You are calculating in two ways, in three ways for releasing the varieties, the hybrids. What you are going to say, you are going to test your hybrids throughout the country along with your check hybrids. The best check in that group, in mid-early hybrid group. What is the check today's? What is the check being used? US 312. US 312 as a national check hybrid. Then MTU 1010 as a zonal check variety, normal variety. You have to use the normal variety also. The best normal variety of that zone will be compared. And the third is the best national check variety, the normal variety, inbred variety, which you call inbred variety. MTU 1010 is an inbred variety. This is a normal variety. This is not hybrid. So you have to compare this also with your hybrid. What is the situation? How much yield advantage you are getting over the normal inbred varieties and over the hybrid, the prevailing hybrid variety. So prevailing hybrid variety in mid-early group is at present US 312. It is used as national check hybrid. So you compare it for standard heterosis, for useful heterosis, you have to calculate it. So now you see here, you can see here that the first one I'm calculating on the inbred variety as well as on hybrid variety. The standard heterosis 1 is F1 bar minus check variety, that is inbred variety, normal variety, not hybrid. Check variety divided by check variety multiplied by 100. If you see calculation, the 68, your hybrid is giving 68, HURHS 17-1 is giving 68 quintals per hectare. Now you see the check variety, the normal inbred variety MTU 1010 is giving the average performance of the 6 locations, 61 quintals per hectare. Now you calculate 11.48%. Generally 10% is enough for releasing the hybrid if 10% over check varieties, standard varieties if you are having. Then you calculate F1, the second standard heterosis, F1 bar minus check hybrid bar divided by check hybrid bar into 100. The F1 you know is 68, average 68 quintals per hectare, and you see the US 312 is giving 66 quintals per hectare. So if you calculate, you are going to get around 3% of yield advantage over the normal. And if you see the quality of this hybrid US 312, the national check hybrid variety, hybrid national check hybrid US 312, the quality is poor than the my hybrid. This is long cylinder and this is medium cylinder. Of course, if you see the comparing the hulling percentage, this is 77% and this is giving 79%. So not much difference is there, and MTU 1010 is also giving the 77%. So altogether, this is the situation of standard heterosis, how you are going to calculate the standard heterosis, which is useful heterosis, which is economic heterosis, which can be used for releasing the hybrids. So this is the way how we are developing the hybrids, how we are testing the hybrids throughout the country, and how it is going to be released. And because I tell you here because of the lot of load of different works, I have stopped working on hybrid rice. Of course, I'm continuing with the development of high zinc rice as well as drought tolerant rice, because hybrid rice needs lot of effort. A separate person is needed for that. So as I said repeatedly, that I'm here for teaching, not for the research. With my interest, I'm doing all these things. So now you see the manifestation of heterosis. How, what are the traits where you are getting the heterosis? As I said about the root characteristics of my hybrids, I have explained already. So at any place you can get the heterosis. At any trait you can get the heterosis. At one trait, on majority of the traits you can get the heterosis. Positive heterosis, negative heterosis, both the types based upon the combination of genes in the F1, the parents you have used, the genotype, genetic characteristics of the parents and combinations of the F1 hybrids, you are going to get minus heterosis or positive heterosis for different traits. So what are the manifestation? Of course, you are going to get heterosis may be observed on any character of the plant, depending upon combination of genes in F1s, like yield. For yield you can get, which you are getting here. For reproduction ability, more and more reproduction, more and more pollination, pollen production and other things. Vigor, fast growth, increased size, you are getting the increased fruits, increased seed size, everything. Improved quality also, many times you are getting better quality, as you have seen that long cylinder you are getting here. Improved quality, increased resistance to biotic and abiotic stress, as I said, that my hybrids were better tolerant to the drought than all other parents as well as the inbreds. So this is there. Early flowering you are getting in hybrids, if you compare it. So that can be exploited. Early maturity and many more traits, whatever you are requiring. And you see, make the crosses, many more crosses, and you see the heterosis, and accordingly whatever can be possible to utilize it. So this is the measurement of heterosis or estimation of heterosis. How do you calculate it practically? I have explained that how, not theoretical, practical, with practical value I have given you the explanation of measurement of heterosis. Thanking you very much.